Today, we're talking about Lioness, the intense, emotionally charged, edge-of-your-seat thriller that's currently dominating Paramount+. And oh boy, do we need to talk about Joe McNamara, Zoe Saldaña's incredible but seriously conflicted character. If you've been following this season, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's time to break it down, because Neal, her husband, might just be the real MVP this season. And honestly, he's not wrong. Joe is at a crossroads, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Can she truly have it all? Let's dive into why Neal is right, why Joe has to make a hard choice, and what it means for the explosive future of Lioness. Let's go. Beat intro music plays, with quick clips from the show interspersed with dynamic text on the screen. Lioness, duty versus family. Joe's biggest challenge yet. Okay, so let's start with the obvious. Lioness is freaking brilliant. Taylor Sheridan is absolutely killing it by branching out from his usual neo-Western style. Instead, we're getting this gritty, high-stakes military thriller that somehow balances nail-biting action with gut-wrenching personal drama. And at the center of it all, Joe McNamara, played to perfection by Zoe Saldaña. Now, if you're new here or you've somehow missed the emotional rollercoaster that is this season, let me catch you up real quick. Joe is a badass. She leads the elite Lioness team, tackling some of the most dangerous missions imaginable. This season, things have hit way too close to home. And after being nearly killed in the line of duty, she's found herself in a tug-of-war between her family and her job. On one side, we've got Neal, her husband played by the ever-passionate Dave Annable, pleading for her to put her family first. The other, her relentless sense of duty to her team and her country. And it's not just about Neal versus Joe. It's about survival. It's about priorities. It's about realizing that sometimes being a hero comes with limits. Let's talk about Neal for a second. He's not just some side character yelling from the sidelines. He's a doctor. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to Joe's health. After Joe was gravely injured in the field, she didn't just brush off the incident. She literally ignored medical advice and jumped right back into the action. Like, what? Neal, understandably, loses his cool. And can we blame him? Joe's bull-headed decision to go back to Iraq behind Neal's back is beyond reckless. It's selfish. It's dangerous. And honestly, it's heartbreaking to watch her put her life on the line without a second thought about her family. Here's the thing. Neal doesn't hate her job. He's not one of those cliché TV spouses who's like, it's me or the mission. He gets it. He respects her bravery and the importance of her work. But respect has its limits. Neal is right to be mad because Joe has made it crystal clear that she'll always choose her job over her family. If we're being honest, that's not sustainable. Neal's anger isn't coming from a place of jealousy or insecurity. It's coming from love. He's tired of seeing his wife destroy herself for a job that might one day leave her in a body bag. And if that's not enough to make Joe rethink her priorities, then what will? Now, let's flip the script and talk about Joe's side of things. Because while Neal is absolutely justified, it's not like Joe's decisions are coming out of nowhere. This is a woman who's devoted her entire life to protecting others. She's saved countless lives, stopped catastrophic events, and built a team that relies on her leadership. A sense of duty is admirable, it's heroic, even. But it's also her Achilles' heel. Joe has spent so long putting her mission above everything else that she doesn't know how to stop. Even when Caitlin, played by the incredible Nicole Kidman, gives her an out, suggesting she could lead the next mission remotely from DC, Joe refuses. Why? Because she doesn't trust anyone else to get the job done. And that, my friends, is the crux of the problem. Joe's inability to delegate, to step back, to trust her team, it's what makes her an incredible operator. It's also what's tearing her family apart. Let's talk about that gut punch scene at the end of The Devil Has Aces. Neal's outburst wasn't just about anger, it was raw, emotional heartbreak. It was years of frustration boiling over. He's done watching Joe put her life on the line without considering the ripple effects. He's done being sidelined while she risks leaving him and their daughters behind. And honestly, this scene hit me like a ton of bricks. Performances were so powerful. You could feel Neal's desperation, his love, and his pain all at once. And Joe, you could see the cracks in her armor starting to show. Will it be enough to make her change? Or is she too far gone? Here's where things get really interesting. With Joe now in Iraq, the stakes couldn't be higher. Will she finally realize what's at risk and make a change? Or will her stubbornness lead to even more devastating consequences? I think this mission will be the turning point. Either Joe survives and comes back with a renewed sense of what matters most, or, well, let's just say Taylor Sheridan isn't afraid to break our hearts. Neal's ultimatum might just be the wake-up call. Joe needs to finally choose her family over her job. All right, friends, that's my take. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think Joe can balance her job and her family? Or is Neal right that it's time for her to step back? Let's get the conversation going in the comments below. And hey, if you loved this breakdown, and want more deep dives into your favorite shows, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single update. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay awesome.